One man has always been a key factor in the success of Brazilian CSGO, whether that be leading his team to victory, scouting the next generation of superstars, or by offering opportunities to newer, up-and-coming players. That player is Fallen. Like many footballers, he is a role model to many fans and aspiring players. Now, he is undoubtedly the granddaddy of Brazilian Counter-Strike, and has helped many other young Brazilian talents, namely Henny, Lucas, Showtime, and Phelps, flying them out to the US and supporting their efforts until they were signed by Tempo Storm in 2016. But there was also another man's generosity that helped a group of Brazilians get where they are today. From across the Atlantic, it was the legendary Swedish player of Flusher. Throughout the first 2 years of CSGO, the Brazilian scene kept largely to itself, with teams struggling to keep a consistent roster, and primarily competing within South America. It wasn't until 2014 that a team called Kaboom would make the trip out to Europe and North America to compete on the global stage, and would slowly but surely gain traction with fans.
And watch out, world, Brazil's got a contender. They look so good as a team right now.
Flusher saw the team's potential and would donate his prize money from a recent tournament to fund Kaboom to travel to the offline qualifier for Katowice 2015. At the dawn of 2015, the roster would sign with Keystars, enabling them a larger financial investment so they could attend more events and continue their growth. And grow they did. While the results were still far away from what they would one day achieve, the Brazilians were becoming contenders, taking the odd first place but rarely finishing outside the top 8. This would attract the attention of a larger organisation in Luminosity, a Canadian brand that would enable the Brazilians to solve the #1 issue facing them up until that point, being in Brazil. Fallen and his team negotiated the financial support to live in California, allowing the team to play against stronger opponents. They'd also add a young Brazilian talent named Coldzera.
Now Cold responding back, finding a second, but the pressure is still bearing in. There's 2 more to take down, finding one and the second as he eliminates Tico and the leash. Just like that, it's flipped on its head.
2015 would prove to be the team's breakout year, starting the year with small online tournaments and token major appearances, but ending with a second place finish at FACEIT League Season 3 against a stacked global lineup, taking home $50,000, their biggest prize haul to date, and making their mark finally on the international scene. The Brazilian fire was burning, and Luminosity began a tear of form. 2016, however, was truly the year of the Brazilians, with Luminosity winning the first major of 2016 in MLG Columbus.
Cold, what? Jumping double for Cold! What is going on right now? How does he do this?
It was a huge achievement, and cemented Brazil as a contender for the best CS nation in the world. And they were by no means happy with just one major title. The same squad, now with organisation SK Gaming, would go on to defend their title at ESL One Cologne, lifting the trophy for the second time that year. This was their era. Fallen and his squad were now proving their unbeatable form, with an incredibly passionate fanbase behind them. They would round off the year with almost exclusively top 4 finishes at Tier 1 events, and would continue the same display into much of 2017. They wouldn't win another major, but they would finish the next top 8, and keep their name in the spotlight. They'd see a few roster changes, such as Phelps and Bolts, as they tried to recreate that same dominant form. Taco would announce his departure in 2018, as he'd seek new grounds with Team Liquid. This would make room for a different region, North America, to enter the picture. Cloud9's Stewie, a former major winner in his own right, would take his place.
They did not see this coming, they did not!
But results still wouldn't improve, as 2018 saw one of the most disappointing years for the team to date. They'd struggled to place any higher than 6th at many Tier 1 events, and failed to qualify for many more, leaving them flagging behind teams that they were once dominating. It was a period of struggle for Fallen and his men. All the while, MiBR as an organisation were out of the picture, not holding a professional Counter-Strike team since before the days of Global Offensive. But there were rumours of re-entry into the Counter-Strike scene. A few weeks later, they'd report their new roster, made up of the former SK Gaming squads: Fallen, Fur, Coldzera, Bolts, and Stewie. The unveiling would be shown at a local Brazilian expo named MiBR The Return. It was an exciting time for Brazilian Counter-Strike, a region famed for having some of the most passionate fans in the world. The legendary name would make its comeback. Shortly after this, however, they'd extend even further into North America, as they'd signed Tarek to replace Bolt.
What's up guys, my name is Tarek Selig and I'm happy to announce that I'm the newest member of MiBR.
They would first grace the stage at ESL1 Cologne 2018 and finished 7th to 8th, knocked out by the eventual grand finalist Big. Their first trophy would be the Zotac Cup Masters and set them up for success at the FACEIT London Major, where they'd finish in the semi-finals. Results would be steady, and the team would even give their rivals Astralis a run for their money at the ECS Season 6 finals, with a grand final that showed some cracks in the Danes' armour. Still, it'd be a predictable second place finish for the Brazilian squad, and no more trophy lifts were to come before the end of the year. Astralis were the ones who'd continue to blow everyone out of the water. 2019 would dawn with Coach Yanko's contract expiring, alongside a few months later, Tarek stepping down from the active lineup to make room for Phelps. The first major of the year would be in Katowice, and it looked as though their results may be improving. A solid 3-1 in the group stage was exactly what the team needed to catapult them straight into the arena. And here, they'd continue their terror form against Renegades in the quarters.
Now legends, but no further.
But guess who'd be just around the corner ready to crush their dreams once again? That's right.
Astralis again!
Unless you've been living under a rock for this past year, you'll know Astralis was still on their incredible terror form at this point, and sealed their second major title in a row in this very arena. MiBR had no chance. Another roster shuffle would come and go, this time seeing Phelps loaned to now ex-Luminosity in exchange for Lucas, before coldzera stepped down at his own request. This would throw another curveball. With coldzera's exit, the team would need to find a fifth. They would field their coach, Zeus.
That's right, even Zeus coming in with the hotness. Double kill for him and an assist.
But MiBR weren't able to catch a break, as rumours were circulating that they wouldn't be able to sub in their coach for the fast approaching Starladder Berlin Major. The major rule set didn't allow coaches as stand-ins, only in cases deemed an emergency. And that situation was now rapidly dawning for MiBR. However, their luck would change. Although not in direct response to MiBR's issue, the rule set would be amended and allow any org to field their coach as a substitute player. Finally, some fortune was coming MiBR's way. That was until they started playing. It was a swift exit for the Brazilians from the Legend stage, only taking one win over NIP, before falling to ENTS, then G2, then finally Na'Vi to deliver the finishing blow. MiBR were out of the major.
16-4, and that's it. MiBR have been eliminated by Na'Vi.
Shortly after their devastating blow at the major, MiBR would sign KNG from INTZ, with Zeus back in his original coaching role. And ever since, results have been going steady. No trophy lifts as of yet, but they still managed to claim a spot in Arlington for the ECS Season 8 finals in the last remaining week of online competition.
Fallen though will deny him, and MiBR make it to land.
From humble beginnings back in the early 2000s, now footballing legends such as Neymar want to be part of MiBR's legacy. Once the underdogs from Brazil, fighting for a chance to prove their talent. MiBR have undoubtedly cemented themselves as one of Counter-Strike's most legendary names.